Every day, employers with businesses from large store chains to small single-store owners provide jobs for millions of people. It benefits all of us who need jobs, and it keeps our economy going. But this year, thousands of businesses will fail that could have succeeded. Good employees will lose their jobs because dishonest employees are stealing. Employee theft is so serious that 30% of business failures this year will be caused by the theft of their own workers. The last three people you've been watching are an example. They have just stolen money from their employer. Did you see it? Let's watch again. This cashier has been trusted by her manager to reconcile the cash in her register each day. Over time, there have been signs that something isn't right. At this moment, she is slipping a $20 bill into a notebook under the cash bag. She plans to retrieve it later. This cashier is crumpling another $20 in her right hand and has just tucked it into her apron. A third employee has finished helping a customer. Now, she decides to help herself. These employees were caught because their employers knew what to look for. By the end of this program, you'll also know what to look for. Experienced retailers know that they have more to fear from their own employees than from shoplifters. But many new businesses and small retailers don't learn that lesson until it's too late. Theft in the retail industry is the largest category of larceny in the United States, larger than bank robberies, home burglaries, and shoplifting combined. Because of employee theft and shoplifting, every one of us pays close to $1,000 more for our purchases every year. When employees steal, they steal from all of us, and we all pay for it. Almost every type of employee has been caught stealing. Hourly workers, salaried employees, supervisors, managers, accountants, and executives. It doesn't matter if workers are young or old, and it doesn't matter if employees are recent hires or people who have been working at the same company for 30 years or longer. While large retailers often have special security measures in place, small businesses and single store owners usually have the least amount of security and are the most vulnerable and the easiest to steal from. Owners may recognize the threat of shoplifters, but often fail to recognize that some employees will also steal, or they don't know what to look for or how to stop it. Three conditions exist that lead to employee theft: motive, opportunity, and the means to get away with it. When caught, thieves use all kinds of motives to justify their theft. Employees have used excuses such as financial problems at home, the need to support a drug habit, medical expenses made them desperate. Other excuses include the company hasn't treated them right, they're mad at their supervisor, they deserve more money, the store can afford it and isn't sharing the profits. And one of the saddest excuses is, they can. It was just too tempting and too easy. It's your responsibility as a business owner to remove the opportunities to steal and stop making it so easy and tempting. Honest employees who pay in lower wages and lost jobs also need to recognize common areas of theft and do what they can to minimize it. We all need to create accountability and deterrence so no dishonest employee can ever say, "It was just too easy." Some experts say that in an average retail business, 20 to 40% of employees will always steal if given the opportunity. Another 40% of employees will consider stealing if the opportunity and temptation is too great. When you remove the opportunity, you remove the temptation. When the prospect of getting caught outweighs the desire and opportunity to steal, the thief won't take the chance. In the retail environment, three main areas of theft involve cash stolen at the register, directly from customers or the store, merchandise stolen off the retail floor, and theft of goods and supplies from the stockroom or warehouse. We can't show you every method thieves might use, but we'll cover these common areas and some clues to watch for. Most theft involves cash stolen directly at the register.
You're in a hurry. I'm sorry. We'll
Always.
get it rolling. I'm so glad you chose this one. It really looked cute.
Thank you. I love it. Just the right colors.
Well, ring it up. Is it going to be cash, check, or charge?
I think I'll do cash today.
All right. $47
Oh, what a deal.
out of 60?
Out of 60.
Okay. There's your change. Here's your receipt.
Thank you. I'll see you soon.
Thanks for shopping with us.
Bye.
See you next time.
You've just seen a customer intentionally shortchanged. By not counting out the change for the customer, the cashier was able to hold back $2. An extra $2 still in the register waiting for later pickup. In this case, the store owner will never see that a theft has taken place. Did you notice the 2 pennies placed by the register? We'll explain that in a minute. First, let's watch another theft. This common method is called open drawer theft. The cashier rings the sale, but then fails to close the drawer.
Oh, here you go, and I'm so glad that you got that. Oh, these are so darling with your outfit.
they're perfect.
They're only $14.
You know what? I gotta hurry. My husband's
Oh,
waiting
okay.
in
Well,
the
don't
car.
worry.
Oh, okay,
I'll
good.
put him in a bag for you and slip him here in a hurry and ring it up afterwards.
Oh,
and that's
great.
14 out of 15, and that's $1 change, and
Thank
he'll never
you.
know.
Oh, thank you so
Oh,
much.
you're welcome. Thanks
Thanks.
for coming in.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Because the drawer was never closed, the second part of this sale was not recorded. The owner loses the merchandise and the profit. The cashier took advantage of a shopper in a hurry who didn't want to wait for a receipt. There are usually signs when cashiers are stealing using these methods. To avoid being caught, they need to be unobserved as much as possible. Since they can't take the chance of being seen putting cash in their pockets several times a day, they have to keep track of how much extra money is in the register. Earlier, we saw a cashier put some coins beside the register after a theft. This is called stacking. The cashier uses these coins to keep track of what she's stolen. She is assigned a value of $1 for each penny. When it comes time to reconcile the drawer, she knows just how much to take out. Here, a cashier has assigned a different value to these ordinary items. The rubber bands might represent dollars, and the mints are quarters. The other items, various amounts. Some cashiers might simply take tally marks on a sack or scrap of paper. With stacking, the cashier has a system to keep track of multiple thefts. The wise supervisor will let new cashiers know they watch for these signs, and they'll have a policy of no clutter around the register. To prevent this type of theft, managers should have a policy of random, unannounced drawer audits. The combination of extra cash in the drawer and stacks of coins, objects, or tally sheets is a strong sign of theft. Other signs of potential problems include blocking the register window from view, taking advantage of or creating obstructive views at the front of the store, failure to offer receipts to customers, and things like higher than average no-sale rings. Sweethearting is the practice by cashiers of giving unauthorized discounts to friends. It can be as simple as the cashier ringing a pack of gum but putting additional items in the bag. But employees can be much more devious.
Oh, wonderful. How are you? I'm good.
Anyone casually watching this transaction will not likely see anything wrong. The cashier rings the item, and all appears in order. But an audit of the receipt shows something isn't right. First, the item is marked $14.99, but it comes up $4.99 and shows a different item. This isn't a mistake. It's theft. The cashier intentionally fools the scanner to give her friend a discount. Tricks like these make a strong argument for keeping surveillance cameras on the registers. Many stores catch theft by using these surveillance tapes to visually compare receipt tapes with items on the video. The example we saw earlier of count-out theft involved the drawer being exactly $20 short. The cashier counted on the fact that mistakes are sometimes made and that it could not be proven she was stealing. This cashier decided that the chance of her being caught was low enough that she would make the attempt. She was wrong. Her theft was discovered by reviewing the surveillance tape after the shortage appeared. Surveillance systems are an excellent way to deter theft. Almost any business can now afford some form of a surveillance system. Systems have dropped so low in price that multi-camera systems with much better resolution than just a few years ago can be purchased for only a few $100s. These are great for small businesses and quickly pay for themselves. They come in packages from single-camera systems to multiples of cameras monitoring several areas, all multiplexed to one location. Everything you know about shoplifters can also be applied to employees. They use the same techniques, including hiding items in loose clothing, large pockets, or hidden inside pockets. They'll hide thefts in plain sight. Employees will often work with other employees to make stealing easier. Because they often have access to pricing guns and tags, it's easy to reprice an item and buy it for themselves, especially if they're working with another employee. In another sweethearting example, this time between two employees, this thief wants to take an expensive item out of the store. The cashier just overrides the price and types in a much lower one. To a casual observer, everything looks normal. It's common to hide items in employee restrooms, lockers, and break rooms, where they can be removed from packaging and carried out in purses and backpacks. One popular technique is to hide items in unpacked boxes or in trash bags. A bag or box might sit in plain sight, waiting for a convenient time to remove the item. A trash bag with hidden merchandise is put out with the rest of the trash. After hours, the employee will come by and recover the item. You can minimize these opportunities by taking a few precautions, like having a policy that boxes are immediately broken down after merchandise is unpacked. You might consider using clear trash bags. Boxes and bags that aren't empty should be considered suspicious and always inspected. Remove the option of stealing by way of the trash bin by limiting access to the trash areas and keeping the area locked and under surveillance. Merchandise is not the only type of theft to watch for. Businesses should not overlook the impact of supply room theft. Not long ago, the cost of file folders, paper clips, paper and pens could add up. But in today's technology, toner cartridges and ink for printers and copiers and other computer supplies are very expensive. Other common items employees take include cleaning supplies, tissue, and toilet paper. Keep the supply room locked with limited access. All keys used for locked areas should be marked "Do Not Duplicate" and limited in number. Consider a surveillance camera in these areas as well. Without safeguards in place, stockrooms, docks, and warehouses provide dishonest employees with many opportunities for theft and tend to be high theft areas. Warehouse theft is estimated at billions of dollars every year. That's a lot of merchandise that never even reaches the shelves. Unsecured and unattended items are easy targets. Employees working alone and therefore unobserved may find opportunities to steal very tempting. You can improve stockroom and warehouse security by making sure loading and unloading is done in plain view by multiple people and monitored by camera. Merchandise should not be unpacked by only one unobserved person. You should use an inventory tracking system, and you should never pay an invoice until you have the packing list. Unattended merchandise should be secured in locked areas as much as possible. Boxes should be broken down quickly. Stored pallets should be wrapped with shrink material to make theft more difficult and more visible. Thieves in all of the situations we've seen so far try to play percentages to avoid being caught. If they know their manager's routines and the weaknesses in your security, they're more likely to steal. The best thing you can do physically to minimize theft in your store is to maintain surprise and unpredictability in your random audits and inspections. In the warehouse, this means security will walk through at random times, speaking to employees, inspecting boxes, trash, and cameras. When you speak to workers, they know you've noticed them. When they know you are monitoring them, it will make dishonest employees wary. At the register, random and unannounced audits of the cash drawer make it much less likely dishonest employees will risk stealing and hiding cash. We've covered just a few of the methods of employee theft, But by now, you should have an awareness that it can happen to you. If you use this awareness to put policies in place to reduce opportunities and temptation to steal, you can avoid being part of the 30% of all business failures caused by employee theft. Remember, the #1 deterrent to dishonest employees is the fear they will be caught. To sum it up, your employee should know that you are aware of the methods and means dishonest employees use to steal. They should know that surveillance is used for the benefit of everyone. They should know that unannounced audits of the cash drawers and walk-through inspections will happen at any time. And finally, they should know that any theft will be prosecuted vigorously. If the risk of being caught is too high, dishonest employees won't steal, and normally honest employees will stay honest. And for all employees, if you witness a theft, find a way to communicate it to your employer. Remember, these thieves are stealing from you too. It's the right thing to do, because we all pay for employee theft.